Across the South Coast, live from Solent University, you're listening to Solent Sports News.
Good afternoon, welcome to Solent Sports News. It's 3 o'clock and I'm Will Harris. After a solid 3-0 win over Senegal and Harry Kane getting his first goal of the tournament, confidence in the England camp is soaring. With no yellow cards and only 2 goals conceded, former footballer Gary Neville thinks the squad can look forward to the game of a lifetime.
Thinking they can beat France on Saturday. Brilliant game to look forward to. I can't wait for it. I think that it'll be watched by tens and tens of millions in our country, but all around the world as well, hundreds of millions.
The round of 16 continues later on today as giant killers Japan take on European underdogs Croatia. Luka Modric will be looking to extend the run of his team for potentially his last World Cup. Favourites Brazil take on South Korea in the evening game. Portuguese-born career coach Paul Bento is not happy about a quick turnaround.
In my opinion, I do not think it's fair to play every match after 72 hours, but we need to accept it. If that's FIFA's decision, we need to understand, we need to accept it.
We have in the studio now world football expert Ed Jones.
Thanks, Will. I'm not a world football expert. However, I can tell you that this evening we're going to have a delectable medley of footballing splendour. First stop being the Al Janoub Stadium for Japan taking on Croatia. The Japanese so far, you could say, have been the Robin Hood of the tournament, stealing points from the riches of Germany and Spain, either side of a defeat to lowly Costa Rica. But nonetheless, they've topped Group E and they face a stellar test from Croatia. Croatia themselves, runners-up in 2018, they faced their first knockout fixture since a dramatic 5-3 defeat at last summer's Euros to Spain. They're a steely and experienced side, and they'll fancy their chances of facing Brazil or South Korea in the quarter-finals, who, by the way, face off at 7 o'clock this evening. South Korea squeezed through with a victory over Portugal on Friday, leaving Uruguay and Luis Suarez in tears, which is a sight we can all behold. Reality has hit them now, though. It's going to be a tough challenge against the tournament favourites, Brazil, who are the favourites despite the one they lost to Cameroon in the last group game. They've got Neymar available for selection, and the Brazilians have serious World Cup fever, and they look to chase their first World Cup in 20 years. Back to you, Will.
Thanks, Ed. Who are you most excited to see in the games tonight?
So I think in terms of Croatia, first up, obviously they're going to have a tough challenge against Japan. Japan are quite an energetic team, even though they beat Germany, for example, with 26% possession. Be interesting to see how their experienced midfield copes with that. In terms of the other game, I think I'd love to see South Korea cause a shock, but I think it's going to be Brazilian stars again, the likes of Rafinha, the likes of Richarlison. Not getting as much game time at the minute for Tottenham, but he's been exceptional for Brazil so far. And yeah, I think he'll be the star man tonight.
Thank you, Ed. Pele's relatives have given us an update on the health of the legendary footballer. He's responding well to treatment for the lung infection, with his son adding that he will see Brazil lift their 6th world title. Brazil assistant coach Cesar Sampaio tells us what we can do.
Regardless of your religion, we just ask you all to please say a prayer, do whatever you do, and please send him very positive vibes. He is a person who has influenced my development, not only as an athlete, but as a man and as a human being.
It's been 22 years since England last won in Pakistan, but they have finally done it again after beating the Pakistanis by 74 runs. A brilliant final session led by Jimmy Anderson and Ollie Robinson, taking four wickets after tea. Captain Ben Stokes sang his praises for his side.
Regardless of your religion, we just ask you all to please say a prayer.
Could go on and on about everyone in the squad because everyone's just been absolutely incredible this week. Everyone plays for each other. No one leaves anything out on that field, and that's the kind of attitude and the kind of mentality that we need out here. So extremely proud.
Racehorse Honeysuckle has doubled in price for the champion hurdle at Cheltenham to 8-1 after defeat in the Hatton's Grace hurdle at Fairyhouse. The Queen of National Hunt Racing must now take off her unbeaten crown at the track where it all started. The prices for 2 younger hurdlers, John Bon and Love Envoy, have been slashed for the Cheltenham headliner after both recording incredible wins this weekend. After calling Alexander Usyk a little sausage, who was watching ringside while Fury completed his 33rd